This is an emergency video to bring you up to speed with the bombshell news that Prince Andrew is no longer the Duke of York. Prince Andrew has unilaterally, unreservedly, and voluntarily given up all of his royal titles, doubtless as a result of pressure from his brother, King Charles. Now, Prince Andrew is an enormous liability. Yes, Prince Harry is a huge critic of the royal family, a very bitter and selfish man. But with Andrew, it's on another level. So first of all, there was a national security threat because Prince Andrew has been linked to Chinese spies and some very shady characters within the Chinese regime. The idea that the brother of the King of the United Kingdom should be fraternizing with the Chinese state, which wishes harm on the United Kingdom, is clearly unedifying, completely unacceptable, and a demonstration of potentially Prince Andrew's corruption and certainly his poor judgment. So that was the first story. Andrew linked to Chinese spies, which from the point of view of the United Kingdom is an economic and national security threat. But of course, the bigger story, the elephant in the room, is Andrew's relationship with the late paedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, who once again, in a demonstration of shocking judgment, Andrew befriended and stayed in touch with, including that infamous visit to New York following Epstein's conviction for trafficking young girls, one of the most egregious crimes you can think of. So Andrew is either a bad man, like a wicked man and deeply immoral, or he's incredibly stupid. It could be both, but either way, the story about relationships with Jeffrey Epstein, young girls allegedly procured for sex, has placed Andrew in this situation. So let me take you through some of the detail of it because it's absolutely seismic. And so Andrew has agreed with the king to give up all of his titles, including Duke of York, saying continued accusations against him had become a distraction. I should say so. That's the understatement of the year. The development, first revealed by the Telegraph newspaper, followed a string of new scandals concerning the royals' relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship with alleged Chinese spies, as I've just told you. So in a statement released by Buckingham Palace, Andrew said, "In discussion with the king and my immediate and wider family, we've concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family." Now, this is absolutely massive. What it means, folks, is that Andrew is over. Andrew is over, finito, he is out, he is gone. All right, he has left Dodge, and he's left Dodge in a hurry because he's no longer the Duke of York. And by the way, that ridiculous fool, Sarah Ferguson, his ex-wife, who loves having her toes sucked so enthusiastically, she will no longer be the Duchess of York, which is great news because I cannot stand it when divorcees hang on to these venerated royal titles. It sticks in the craw that when Harry and Meghan divorce, which they will, she will remain Duchess of Sussex. Truly unacceptable, but it's the nature of the British Constitution. But no more for Sarah Ferguson. She is ordinary Sarah Ferguson, and Andrew, no longer Duke of York, and no longer enjoying membership of the Order of the Garter. So, let me give you the entire statement from Prince Andrew. In discussion with the King, he writes, and my immediate and wider family, we've concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I've decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honours which have been conferred upon me. As I've said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. Now, there's a lot to deal with here. First of all, fair play to Prince Andrew. Fair play. Because what we've got at the moment, we know that he's a man of poor judgment, should never have fraternized with Jeffrey Epstein. Many celebrities and politicians did. He's not alone. But unlike Prince Harry, Prince Andrew has never said anything against his own family. He's never demonstrated vitriol, disloyalty, treason. He's a foolish man with the wrong friends. Terrible choices he's made in life. But this is, again, indicative of a man that will put family first. Because this will be devastating for Andrew. Andrew's got a massive ego. I'm very close friends with a former senior figure looking after royalty, security of the royals. And this individual has said that he's a buffoon, Andrew. He's very, very arrogant. But he also believes in the monarchy. And he's very loyal to his family. And fair play. Because Andrew would be within his rights to hang on to the Duke title and force the king to draw up an Act of Parliament, because you can only cease to be the Duke via legislation in the House of Commons. So that would be a massive step, and it would be a huge political and constitutional headache for the king. Andrew has prevented that. He has spared his brother, the king. He's resolved a headache that the king was facing with this errant brother still remaining a duke. He said, look, bro, I can see the problem you've got. You're the king. You're my brother. I love you. This is the royal family to which I'm committed. And this is the monarchy, which I respect and wish to preserve. So he has done the right thing. Yes, he's a fool, but fair play to Andrew. For now, under no doubt significant pressure from his brother, but fair play that he's resolved this issue, and I think it's absolutely the right thing to do. Let me bring you some more detail on this, because there's, like I said, so much to go at. This decision to put all his titles in abeyance was prompted by huge pressure from the king. So we are understanding that the king has leaned on his brother, and rightly so. The prince will also give up his membership of the Order of the Garter, which is another huge, huge honour. Sarah, Duchess of York, is now just Sarah Ferguson. Lol, good enough for her. What an undignified woman that's brought a lot of shame on the royal family with her antics, including her financial chaos, her business ventures, offering access to royals for cash. What an incredibly undignified woman she is. So the agreement, we're told, was made following high levels meetings at Buckingham Palace as aides finally reached a tipping point. After days of yet more revelations that threatened the reputation of the monarchy, the king was finally prepared to press the nuclear button. Until now, say the press, the palace had resisted taking such punitive action, but felt its hand had finally been forced. It goes on, aides are aware that there are likely to be far more revelations to come concerning Prince Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The change in tack also came after the Telegraph revealed on Thursday that the prince had held meetings with Kai Qi, the top Chinese official at the center of the Beijing spy case. I mean, you couldn't make it up. Andrew is a liability. Just days previously, leaked emails showed Prince Andrew stayed in touch with Jeffrey Epstein longer than he'd claimed, raising questions about what else he may have lied about. He said in his Newsnight interview in 2019 that he'd cut off contact with Epstein in December 2010. But just days after a photograph was published in 2011 showing Andrew with his arm around Virginia Giuffre, his alleged sex trafficking victim, allegations which he denies, he contacted Epstein to express concerns for his welfare. So he messages Epstein after all of this comes out about the trafficking of young girls and the most wicked crimes, and he said, we are in this together. So the whole thing is a hot mess, and I'm very glad it's been resolved. I think two things have happened. I think, as I said, it's been a diagnostic of Prince Andrew's values, which are that, yes, he's foolish and stupid and makes bad choices, but ultimately he will protect the monarchy, he will protect his brother, he will protect the royal family, because he didn't have to do this. So he's yielded to pressure. And it also tells us that maybe finally King Charles has grown a backbone and has actually got some ballast and has been tough with his brother. And he said, look, you are not going to be the Duke of York anymore. You're not going to have the membership of the Order of the Garter. You're going to be plain old Prince Andrew and nothing more. So the next step has got to be the eviction of Andrew from the Royal Lodge. Now, I'm curious. I wonder whether this deal and Andrew agreeing to give up these titles was brokered on the strength that he stays in Royal Lodge. It could be that Andrew has been bargaining with Charles and said, look, I'll give up the titles. I will walk away from royal life, but I've got to keep the Royal Lodge, which, by the way, is his palatial 30-bedroom mansion on the Windsor estate. So it could be that was the price of this deal, was the Royal Lodge. But I think that he's got to go. I do not think that he can cohabit in the Royal Lodge with that fool Sarah Ferguson, ordinary Sarah Ferguson now. We don't have to call her Duchess anymore. I think that he's got to be evicted from that place, and he can go. Do you know where he can go? He can go to Frogmore Cottage, which admittedly will have to have a deep clean following Harry and Meghan's time there, because those two, I mean, I would imagine they soiled the place with they're so full of you know what, that doubtless they sprayed it all over all over the Frogmore Cottage. Just the whiff of BS when you walk in. So it'll need a deep clean. They'll need to get Meghan's thick, voluminous hair out of the plug hole in the shower and all the rest of it. But the bottom line is that he must vacate the Royal Lodge, and he shouldn't be a close neighbour of Prince William at his forever home, the Forest Lodge. You can't have William in his house with his family, with Uncle Andy next door in the fabulous, gorgeous Royal Lodge, living it up like it's 1999. So there you go, big developments, folks. What I'm also hoping is that this is the shape of things to come in terms of Charles's behaviour, that he's going to be a tough king that's going to lay down the law and say, do you know what, I'm in charge, clues in the name, I am the king. And the next challenge is for him to deal with Harry, okay, because Harry has been such an embarrassment since the Clarence House summit. Charles has been far too tolerant, far too nice, and I'd like him to get tough with Harry with strong sanctions. A quick word before we go. I have researched, can Andrew, because no doubt you're curious in the comments, can Andrew be stripped of Prince? Can he lose Prince? Well, the answer is very difficult. Being Prince Andrew, he is a blood prince, the second son of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. His title of prince was granted at birth under the 1907 letters patent issued by George V, which defines who is entitled to be styled prince or princess and use his or her Royal Highness HRH. Now, we know that he lost HRH years ago, but it's not an easy thing to revoke prince. It would require a new letters patent issued by the reigning monarch, King Charles, and an act of parliament to legally strip him of the title. And I think it's unlikely, because the bottom line is that he is the son of Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, and Prince Philip. He is Prince Andrew. That is his name. It's who he is. And this is, I think, where we have to draw the line. That he can't stop being Charles's brother, and Anne and Edward's brother. He can't stop being the son of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, at a certain point, and you'll have this in your own situation, families have problems. And you have the black sheep, and you have people that are, difficult. It's still your brother. It's still your sister. So he's still Prince Andrew, and it's likely that he will take that to his grave, but not much else. He's given up all the other royal titles. Let me know your reaction in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you for the next show, which is scheduled for Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time, which is 10 a.m. on the west coast of the United States.